Near Damascus, Arkansas, on the evening of September 18, 1980, Air Force personnel were working at a Titan II missile site when a fuel leak occurred in the Stage 1 fuel tank on the missile. As a precautionary measure, roadblocks were set up north of Greenbrier, and residences in the immediate area were evacuated.
They just told us that they was evacuating 2,000 foot, everybody at 2,000 foot, and to give it, just use our own discretion about leaving.
Did they say why they were evacuating?
If they had a fire and a leak.
Did they say whether there was any danger?
No. So the sheriff said they wouldn't tell them nothing.
More airmen were brought in with heavy equipment carrying lights and generators as ambulances assembled on standby. 2 men wearing white Revco suits with special breathing equipment entered the silo to check a vapor analysis panel just inside the first set of blast doors.
My men were, trying to go in and follow directions from the command post to make some attempt at recovery. And they were getting contaminated with fuel and oxidizer. And so I was standing outside spraying this off the men, and I had no protective clothing. As I turned around, there was a huge explosion. In fact, there were 2 explosions, and it knocked me to the ground, and I looked up and I saw this huge ball of flame.
Officers then began yelling, "Clear the area," as the whole town of Damascus was no longer deemed safe and evacuated. A temporary command post was established, injuries were evaluated, and damages assessed. The silo's 740-ton launch door was catapulted 3/4 of a mile away, and even more terrifying, the 9.5 megaton warhead was nowhere to be found.
We had the local sheriff there asking us, tell us, what is the hazard involved here? We couldn't tell him, and we can either confirm or deny, and it just made him furious, and I can understand that.
Within 2 hours of the blast, Colonel Gray found the warhead in a ditch approximately 200 yards from the silo.
And of course the media had no idea what that was lying in the ditch. And we covered it with a tent and we said it's equipment.
Scientists from the Atomic Energy Commission spent 3 days examining the warhead before moving it to the Jacksonville Air Force Base. The next morning, the missile site had the appearance of a war zone. Chunks of concrete the size of small buildings were scattered everywhere, their steel reinforcing bars twisted like pretzels. One chunk had cut the access road in 2, narrowly missing a truck with 2 airmen inside. 22 people were injured in the accident, but amazingly, only 1 was killed, Senior Airman David Livingston.